0, 1. Let's get started.
We took everything.
They took everything? Let me call you back, Petey.
Well, they could be anywhere by now.
They're digging right under our feet.
Well, in a sense, we've only made matters worse.
We should have stayed out of it.
I've got an idea.
Hey ladies, welcome back to Somebody Come Listen to This podcast. I am your host, Nava. If you are new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you aren't new here, welcome back, girlies. So y'all, 2024 has been a roller coaster, and like so much has been happening this year. And this is just what, May? I think, are we in May? Yeah, we're in May, and so much has happened already. So right now, the internet is in a tizzy over these Bumble billboards. So men are noticing how women are not wanting to procreate with them. Women are not wanting to date them or have sex with them. And I think the entire world is taking notice at how women are just saying get somebody else to do it. So Bumble, the dating site, has come out with these billboards trying to persuade women not to be celibate. They're trying to tell women pretty much being celibate and keeping your cootie cat to yourself is not the answer, ladies. It's not the answer. So they're basically telling us you need to just go on and get on Bumble. They're basically saying Bumble is a website where you can find strange men and just give away your cootie cat for free. Like, these men, they can't go out and just pay for it. They want to get, well, they pay for Bumble. They get on about Bumble and they pay for it. But the difference is, if they go find somebody and pay for services, they have to keep doing that over and over again. If they get on Bumble and find a girlfriend or a woman, they possibly can get those benefits without having to put out too much cash. They want the most for the least amount of money. But let's get into some of these videos, and then I will be back with my commentary.
Fuck you guys, for real, because are you not aware that you can be a woman who dates males and is still celibate? Or did you just completely skip over that fact? Because right now, this feels like a campaign to encourage rapists. Essentially, what you're saying is, if a male takes us on a date and buys us a dinner, we owe him our body. And if we're celibate, that's not valid. You're delegitimizing our celibacy because you want males to have more access to our bodies. And then you think that we're gonna have a positive reaction to that? You must be out of your damn mind. The fact that y'all have the audacity to push this campaign when there is a literal femicide going on in Congo right now, where women are being kidnapped by the masses and essayed by the soldiers in front of their family members, okay? Women are having to watch their daughters get raped by soldiers, okay? Is that a concept that you guys thought about before you put out this stupid fucking brainless campaign? I would not be surprised to find out that before they pushed this campaign, they fired a bunch of women from the marketing department. I bet you anything this was a male's idea, and I bet you anything they had to get rid of certain women that worked in the marketing department to be able to push this campaign, because there's no way women signed off on this campaign, and if they did, I am incredibly disappointed in you. So I'm on my Bumble app right now, and I'm deleting my account, and this is my message to you. Your campaign delegitimizing celibacy is an absolute threat to women's safety, and I will not be using an app that encourages males to be so entitled to my body that they will not respect celibacy during the dating stage. Fuck you guys.
You know, having seen Bumble's fucking stupid ass ad campaign, which if you don't know, basically their ads are like, why would you be celibate? That's not the answer. Come back to Bumble. I thought it was so fucking stupid, tone deaf, and miserable. I'm a communications major, and something really important about communications is not just what the fuck you are saying, but it's also when you're saying it. Bumble is only choosing to say this now because it's hurting their pockets. They're a business. All they care about is their bottom line, and having women, because Bumble is an app that is run by women, it's not, but having women choose to like stop having meaningless sex with men, it's hurting their bottom line. So seeing that bullshit ass ad campaign was like, well, now I'm definitely deleting the app. But while I was at it, I also deleted Hinge. So all I hope that comes from this is all the other apps turning into Bumble and being like, bitch, why the fuck would you do this? Now you're hurting all our power. Moral of the story, the power is in your hands as a consumer, and don't you ever let a company make you think otherwise.
That weird Bumble ad wasn't an accident, okay? For the people who don't know, Bumble put out a kind of tone-deaf ad where they were talking about, like, celibacy and, like, oh, it's time to give that up. Get back on Bumble. Hook up. Hookup culture needs you, right? And a lot of people were looking at that like, ooh, this is really tone-deaf. Bumble made a mistake, yada, yada, yada. And I don't think it did. I think, like, let's look at the writing on the wall here, right? The way that the industry is set up right now, people need workers. What better way to have workers that need to stay working than to have people have kids, right? Take away their access to contraception and birth control. Then let's really, really push hookup culture, right? Through all these dating apps and whatnot. Now, Bumble is also considering adding a feature where women don't have to make the first move anymore, which completely defeats the entire purpose of the way that the app was supposed to be built in the first place, right? But let's push this hookup culture. Let's really get people hooking up, right? Because at the end of the day, you need people in the workforce, right? And I think when you have more people in the workforce and you have people who don't want to lose their job because they have a Tamagotchi at home that they have to take care of, a living Tamagotchi, right? Then you incentivize people to accept the status quo for what it is, right? Why would I have time to protest? Why would I have time to go out and make my voice heard when I got to make sure that there's food on the table for little Junior at home, right? So when you're looking at the apparatus of society right now, what is the best way to really push that? Dating apps. Why? Because dating apps perpetuate a hookup culture that is not safe, right? Like, dating apps were not meant for people to get married. If it was, dating apps would be a very quick thing. You find a person, you get married, you end it. But they push this whole narrative at the very beginning of these apps that were saying, hey, like, people are making it through. And I know this, right? Because I was in one of those ads. I did a dating app ad during the pandemic, and the whole premise of the ad was, hey guys, even though the world is going crazy right now, you can still find somebody. You can still hook up with somebody. The world can still go on, right? Because they're pushing this narrative of getting out there, but they're not pushing a narrative of the middle ground between not dating anybody at all and marriage. That middle ground is murky. That middle ground is hard. That middle ground is a lot of unsafe dating. And what does unsafe dating lead to? Possibility of kids. If you have a kid and there's no way for you to handle that before it's completely birthed, well, guess what? Now you got something to take care of. If you have something to take care of, guess what you need? A job. If you need a job, then you'll accept any job, right? Because it's not just that people are not going into the workforce. It's that people, after receiving the money that we got during the pandemic and the time off that we got, realize that, hey, maybe I'm underpaid for what I'm doing. And hey, maybe I'm undervalued at these places for what I'm doing. Right? I can work from home and the company can still run perfectly fine. Why do I need to come into the office? Right? All of these different things happen at once. So a lot of these low-paying jobs became harder and harder to fill, because people were like, no, I'm worth more than that. But if you have a kid, if you have something to take care of, and that is the only job available, guess what you're going to take? All right? The ad was tone deaf, but it wasn't a mistake. Bumble knows what it's doing.
Bumble didn't want to be left out of the block party. This is all we're seeing when we're looking at your gross ads. Let me tell you about the refined gentleman on Bumble. So about a year ago, I matched with this guy on Bumble. And the joy begins. And we went on a few dates. And, you know, he told me, oh, I've been single for over a year, have not been dating anyone, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So we go out to dinner and I post a selfie of us and he reposts it. And the next morning I wake up with a DM and it's from a girl and she's like, is that your man? I'm like, is that your man? And she's like, sorry, you know, I don't want to bother you, but I've been seeing this man for about a year and I want to be fully transparent and we're having like unprotected sex and I just want to, you know, I want to watch out for us. This is the situation. And I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much for telling me. Oh, and he had also deleted the selfie like 3 hours after he reposted. And I was like, why did you delete it? And he's like, we're too hot. I'm getting too much attention. I'm like, okay, whatever. I am too hot. But I don't care, you know, I just don't care enough to like inquire more information. But now that I know that he's been lying and hurting other women, now I most definitely care. So I cut things off with him, you know, I'm like talking to the girl, I'm like, I'm so sorry, you know, tell me the timeline, like this is horrible. And then more women, you know, start coming out. And one is a 15-year-old girl and a 16-year-old girl. Yeah. He's been engaging with them, liking their photos, commenting on their pictures. The best part is this man is still on Bumble. He still has access to women. And this is the fucking issue, not us being celibate. Even though multiple women reported him to Bumble, nothing was done about it. And that is precisely the problem. We are so done. Until men change, we are done. And Bumble is directly contributing to the problem and directly contributing to our decision to be celibate and to move away from men. Like, what? Like, have you guys met men? I am so confused. Like, that is the issue, is that you're giving these rapists, these misogynists, these fuckboys, these married men, you're giving those men access to women. And that's the issue. Why would we risk our pH levels and our lives and our safety and our peace? Why would we risk that when you give us men like this?
A vow of celibacy is absolutely the answer. I don't know if y'all have seen Bumble's latest ad campaign, these billboards, but when I saw them, my mouth quite literally fell open. Shaming women for choosing to abstain in 2024 is wild. I recently got back on the dating apps after not being on them for like 5 years, and the only one that I seemed to be able to tolerate was Bumble. But even then, I feel like I just could not get into it, and now I understand why. I know we all like to joke about how the dating pool has piss in it, but let's be real, it is so much more than that. As a woman, anytime that I choose to go out and meet a man, I am quite literally putting my life in danger. In 2024, where women are being assaulted, where women are being unalived, where women are literally being dismembered after meeting up with men off of these platforms and off of these apps, a vow of celibacy absolutely is the answer. In 2024, where life-threatening STDs are running rampant, a vow of celibacy is absolutely the answer. I don't know if they thought they ate with these, but they most certainly did not. My question for Bumble then is this. If a vow of celibacy isn't the answer, then please tell us what is. Because surely it cannot be meeting up with a stranger online, going to their home, or worse, inviting them over to my home, sleeping with them, putting my health at risk, putting my life at risk, and just hoping and praying that they end up being the love of my life. Dating in 2024 as a woman has become such a chore and honestly a little bit of a joke. Like, Putting aside the podcast bros, the passport bros, the 50-50 warriors, we literally are endangering our lives every time we choose to go out with men. Women are starting to realize that at the end of the day, the juice may not be worth the squeeze. More and more women in their 30s and 40s are choosing celibacy or choosing to just remove themselves from the dating market entirely because it's just not worth it. And I think Bumble and a lot of these other apps realize that, which is why they're continuously introducing these new features, ramping up their algorithms, and introducing more and more paywalls to try and entice us back into a system that really doesn't serve us at the end of the day. Like, I have been so disinterested in opening up my phone and giving these apps another chance, but this is the sign that I needed to go ahead and just delete them entirely.
Let's talk about this Bumble ad. So Bumble just released this billboard in LA that says, "You know full well a vow of celibacy is not the answer." Bumble, you know full well women are your product and women are understanding their worth and getting off of dating apps and becoming celibate, therefore you're losing money. Not to mention, Bumble puts men in their princess treatment. Bumble puts men in their feminine receiving energy. I stopped using Bumble a long time ago for this reason. I turned 21 in 2019, which I feel like was the peak of dating apps, and it also was the peak of what I call the Call Her Daddy era. Do you guys remember when the Call Her Daddy podcast first came out? I remember that podcast really changed my perspective, and it was kind of spreading this message like girls can go out and date around and like hook up and get theirs just as much as a guy can. I was living in San Diego at the time, and a lot of the people, the girls that I was around, subscribed to this kind of mindset of like, yeah, I can go around, I can hook up, I can get mine. Until they realize as women that like men definitely benefit from that a lot more than women do, and you feel kind of like lifeless and used afterwards, and you kind of just have to learn that through your own experience. My thoughts on it is like, why would I want to like go and hook up and like do something super intimate with someone that I literally don't know and don't care about, and they also don't care about me? So it's just overall not going to be a great experience. So I feel like this was the peak time for dating apps. Like, I feel like this was a time where dating apps were still kind of new. Like, there were a bunch of stuff coming out. Like, Bumble came out, Hinge came out. Like, Tinder was obviously one of the first ones. But all the single young girlies were using dating apps, going out on dates and stuff like that. But it took us all as a collective a lot of time to realize that this really doesn't benefit us that much, first of all. Second of all, we are put in countless amount of dangerous situations. I one time went on a Bumble date with a guy that I literally thought was going to beat my ass. Like, he was in the car and hitting his steering wheel and screaming at me like our second time hanging out, because I told him I don't want to listen to how much money he has and I want to talk about something that actually has substance. Anyways, I feel like as a collective, women are sick and tired of, first of all, putting in energy in dating apps. Like, men are in their receiving era, princess treatment energy, like, especially with Bumble, where girls make the first move. Guys are like, okay, what else do you got? What else do you got? What else are you gonna prove to me? Like, what happened to a man courting a woman? Like, I understand making the first move, but it's almost like these guys don't respect women and, like, don't value women because they have girls just like making the first move on them. I feel like all dating apps make people feel disposable, but I feel like Bumble's, especially, men feel like women are disposable on Bumble. The majority of women I know in today's day and age do not partake in hookup culture and don't even try to go out on dates anymore. Where back in the day, back in 2019, everyone was on dating apps, everyone was going out on dates, because we realized it's genuinely not worth it for us anymore. It's genuinely not. It's not worth putting ourselves in possible danger. It's not worth being disrespected. And in my experience on dating apps, 9 times out of 10, the person's a freaking weirdo. But yeah, this is wild to me because, like, in some states we're losing our reproductive rights. There are countless amounts of stories of men putting women in very dangerous situations from dating apps. And a lot of us just don't want to subscribe to it anymore. We don't want to, like, deal with it anymore. And these dating apps are losing money. They're losing money big time, especially dating apps like Bumble that put men in their princess treatment, that put men in their, why do I have to message you first? You should message me first. You should ask me on a date. You should do this. Like, if that's your vibe, that's cool. That's not my vibe, and that's not my friend's vibes. But yeah, this just shows that they're like scrambling because women are the product. Women are what they're marketing to the men. And a lot of dating apps are making women pay now. Like, before it was like, oh, men like pay so you can talk to more girls. Now it's like, women, we're putting you in different tiers and we're not showing you the super handsome guys because you need to pay to be in a different tier. Hell no. I was done with you before this. I'm especially done with you now. But yeah, this is just wild to me. I was a Bumble hater before and I'm a Bumble hater now. This ad
This is for the advertising and marketing director over at Bumble, the dating app. If you're not that, you can keep scrolling. Bumble, count your days. You really have billboards all over the city talking about a vow of celibacy is not the answer. So what is the answer? Giving it up to raggedy, undeserving men? At 2 Bumble? We've already been bombarded with people saying there's a male loneliness epidemic. They're tired of waiting on you to heal. They're going to start putting their hands on you because they're getting frustrated. So now we have all of this pressure from the news media, from society, from the patriarchy, from every direction telling us, just give it up, stop fighting, give the men what they want. And y'all are doing it too? At 2 Bumble? Y'all are just as raggedy as the men you're trying to shove down these women's throats. You got men on here talking about, ladies, some of y'all are going to have to settle. No. For the men out there who refuse to get their lives together to make themselves worthy catches for these women, but still want you to settle for them, no. To Bumble, trying to guilt trip and manipulate women into settle for these raggedy men, no. Y'all make that bear look better and better every day. For y'all to be an app that's all about women making the first move, and now you're telling the women what move to make? Who came up with this idea? Who greenlit this campaign? I bet it was a man.
Just saw someone post about this new Bumble ad. I love how we're just skipping to the fucking point. Ladies, people of America, what you're doing is working and it's being noticed. You are a product being sold. And that is why I say it's either celibacy and not dealing with men at all, or it's dealing with people who can tangibly enrich your life. You have value in a sexual and dating marketplace. And a lot of people are going to hear me say that and think that I'm equating you assigning women value in a sexual and dating marketplace to them being a transactional thing or being a product to be sold. But at the end of the day, that's the way it is. So opt out. I'm all for everyone opting out. But if you must participate, make sure that you are getting more from that situation, more from dating than just promises, lies, and dick. Okay? I tagged the person who posted the original photo series below. You are valuable. Like it or not, when you start opting out, the whole world is going to fall the fuck apart. Don't ever, ever, ever forget that. But just to reiterate, I think celibacy is the answer. Where we're at now, with the rights being rolled back, with everything, celibacy is the answer.
Discuss Bumble's villain arc, because this ad is just criminal. Do you know how many people have to look at an ad and approve it at a company before it gets on a huge billboard like this? I mean, either they only have men or they just have people who don't care and just want to get their job done for the day, because this is an atrocity. There was a time where Bumble had a pulse on what women were going through, as they should. There's supposed to be an app directed to women, trying to empower them to make the first move. And this could have been one of the best apps that we'd ever see in the dating world, and they absolutely blew it. Something else about this kind of ad, where it basically says, keep your standards high, don't let anyone bring them down, is really reminding me, or at least brings up conversations that men have had in the past, where there's this like full blame on women. Like, if you're having such a bad time in your relationship, or this person mistreated you so badly, why are you talking about being so traumatized and upset? You should just do better, choose better. And now that we're finally taking this advice, that we're actually choosing better and raising our standards, not just because we want to raise them, but because we're starting to understand our value and the kinds of experiences that are worthwhile for us to have as women, we get this response. Like, whoa, just kidding. That's too much. I need you to come back to earth and deal with us as we are, because, well, you don't want to be celibate, do you? And they try to convince us as women that this is a problem for us to solve, just like how it was before. Our standards weren't high enough. We were being mistreated. We were being traumatized. We had to do better. And now that we have done better, albeit maybe we are overcorrecting in some instances, we still need to be given that opportunity to figure out what the balance is. Some of us do need to heal. Some of us do need this. This is not a bad thing inherently. And to say that it is our problem to solve, that somehow Bumble is supposed to be our ambassador, is supposed to be our cheerleader in this space? Absolutely not. There is nothing here telling me that Bumble understands what women are going through right now when it comes to dating. And if they want to talk to me, I'm happy to share my insights, because as a coach, as someone on this platform that has a million kind of conversations about relationships, how to seek emotional security, how to date, how to find people who are compatible with you, this is not the table.
Ladies, y'all see what Bumble just tried to do with that new ad that they got, talk about the vow of celibacy is never the answer. Y'all see what they tried to do, right? They're calling you dumb. They're saying, we know y'all ladies not gonna stop using this app. We know y'all ladies want men and y'all gonna give y'all bodies to men. They're calling your bluff pretty much. We know y'all ladies not gonna join the 4B, where y'all have no sex, no marriage, no dating, or no kids with these men. They're calling your bluff. That ad was them calling our bluffs. They don't believe you. They don't believe that you will stop messing with them. They don't believe that you will stop having sex with them. They don't believe you. They're taunting you. That's the only thing that I could think every time I see that billboard pop up. They're taunting you. They don't believe you because you keep participating. You keep wanting to get married. You keep wanting to have a boyfriend. You keep wanting to have kids. You keep thinking about your dream wedding and picking out ring. So they don't believe you because they see your actions. They see that you are going against your best friend back for a guy. They see that in your friend group, all you do is talk about the guys. Y'all don't got nothing else to talk about in y'all friend groups besides guys. They see what y'all doing. They see the type of content you like of these fake couples acting like they really got something going on, and you in the comments saying, oh my God, I want that for me one day. They're calling your bluff because they see your actions. They see that regardless of what men are doing, the violence that's been going on with men and women, with men attacking women, the violence that men are enacting on children, not even the US and globally, they see you still want to find that Prince Charming that doesn't exist. You still think one day you're going to find some man who just doesn't exist. So they're calling your bluff. It's a bluff. So let's show them what we really about, because they're calling our bluff. So show them.
Since me and you are friends now, I'm going to give you a little bit of advice. Delete it. Do not look at me like that. I know you have it. Hinge. Bumble and Bumble, Plenty of Fish. Ooh, that one's horrible. Tinder, delete it. You've been on there for 6 months. Have you met anybody? Maybe even a year. All the dates you've been on have been what? Trash. Delete it. Delete the app. You're going to press on it. You're going to hold it down. And when it starts to do that wiggly thing, you're going to hit the little X and it's going to be gone. And you're not going to download it again. Because next year, you're not going to be on a dating app. I need you to get your hair done, your nails done, your lashes done, get in the gym, whatever's going to make you feel good about yourself. And I'm mad at you because you get invited to places and then you turn it down. How are you going to meet him if you never leave the house? You need to start going to these places. You know where I met my fiance? Somebody else's wedding, at an event. You need to get outside, okay? So delete the app. As a matter of fact, I might do a story time about my dating experience on dating apps so you can see that there's not. The girl already told y'all. There is nothing left. There's nothing left on the dating app. You need to get outside, and you're going to do it next year.
Delete your dating apps. I don't use dating apps, and I'll tell you why. It's because your life's mission should not be to find another person. You do not need a relationship to validate your own existence, okay? Center your life around you. Stop going on 4 dates a week. It's just emotionally draining you, and it's making you actually feel more lonely, which is what these dating apps want you to feel. Even though they market that they want you to find a person, why would they want you to find a person? They want you to stay on their app. That's how they make money. Okay? They feed off of your loneliness. Stop. You are enough on your own. If one day you do get married and decide to grow old with somebody, you're going to miss the time you had by yourself. Have faith in the universe, wait for it to provide, and delete your dating apps. I promise you'll feel better.
So Bumble is back with a full-throated apology, and I want to know how you guys feel about it. To our beloved Bumble community, we made a mistake. Our ads referencing celibacy were an attempt to lean into a community frustrated by modern dating and instead bringing joy and humor. We unintentionally did the opposite. Some of the perspectives we heard were from those who shared that celibacy is the only answer when reproductive rights are continuously restricted, from others from whom celibacy is a choice, one that we respect, and from the asexual community for whom celibacy can have a particular meaning and importance which should not be diminished. We are also aware that for many, celibacy may be brought on by harm or trauma. For years, Bumble has passionately stood up for women in marginalized communities and their rights to fully exercise personal choice. We didn't live up to those values with this campaign, and we apologize for the harm it caused. So here's what we're doing. We're removing these ads from our global marketing campaign. Bumble will be making a donation to the National Domestic Violence Hotline, among other organizations, as a part of our ongoing efforts to support the work being done around the world to support women, marginalized communities, and those impacted by abuse. We will also be offering those partners this billboard space to display an ad of their choice for the duration of our reserved billboard time. Please keep speaking up and telling us how we can be better. We care about you, and we're always here for you. With love and sincere appreciation, Bumble. They must have had Olivia Pope on the PR team, because this apology is well done. It hits all the key takeaways. They definitely took in our feedback. They showed you exactly what they're going to do about it. They took accountability. They're making a sizable donation to a worthwhile cause. They're donating their ad space. They did all the right things in the response and the apology. It's just that the ad was in such poor taste and was so tone deaf. I don't think there's any coming back from that. Then they're going to say this was an attempt at humor because we're frustrated by the modern day dating scene. Well, women aren't frustrated because they're not getting any. A woman can always get some. Always. It's the men that have to beg and plead and sometimes choose violence in order to get it. So it wasn't even meant to be a joke. It was meant for you to let your male users on your app realize, look, we're doing the best we can to make sure you get some. So y'all pimps now.
So, Bumble, no, we're not going. Get somebody else to do it. We don't accept your apology. And if you are on this video and you have Bumble, delete the app. Anybody that you can tell to delete the app, if you got to post it on your page, delete the app. There are so many other reasons that women need to delete, not just Bumble, but all of these apps, because most of them are the same. Most of these men on there aren't looking to be in a relationship, and most of them are actually married. Like, a lot of the men on there are married, or they have a girlfriend, a serious girlfriend, or they're either serial unalivers, or they're just... Instead of me talking about it, I'm going to get into the type of people that women are running into on these date lines, not just Bumble. Like, and ladies, we cannot afford to keep going on these dates all willy-nilly, like we don't know what's going on, like we just think that we're living in la la land. We really need to know that our lives are in danger every single time we go on one of these dates. So I'm gonna get into some of these videos, and I'll be back after this.
Catch your boyfriend or husband on an online dating app? And if so, was his excuse that, hey, I was just bored and I wasn't planning on meeting up with them? What may be going through your mind is, then why were you on there, and is it considered cheating? Technically, it is. It falls under the categories of micro, cyber, and emotional cheating. Now, to him, he may be trying to sell you on the idea that it's not that big of a deal, but in actuality, it is, and here is why. He did not physically cheat yet, but that's only because he did not have the opportunity to, because he was caught. You see, it would only have been a matter of time before he did, because if he was on there seeking attention, then he got a high from it. And it's only a matter of time before that high goes away, as to where he wants to feel that high again. Now, unfortunately, this kind of behavior works like a drug. You become addicted to it and eventually grow a tolerance from it. The need for it grows stronger and needing more of it in extremes, which means eventually leading to physical cheating. Now, if you and your partner have went through a cheating incident, but you want to work it out and you want to save your marriage or relationship, it's about time you start my couples coaching program today, where we focus on the steps to recovering your marriage after cheating, which are trust, forgiveness, overthinking, healing, boundaries, insecurities, and reconnecting. To see if this program is a good fit for you and your partner, first start by booking your free 10-minute consultation today.
You're married. Why are you on dating apps? If you have a wife and kids and you're not separated or divorced, why are you looking for other women? That's cheating. I don't care.
Yeah.
But why did a lot of people do that, and it doesn't make sense to me. You're just like keeping that person around. They say that men don't leave, like, let's say a marriage, unless they already have some other lined up. So even if he's mentally checked out and he's done, he doesn't want what he has, supposedly majority won't leave until they already have somebody else lined up. So that's why they end up on pages like this, because mentally they're like, I don't want to be in this relationship, or I don't want to be in this marriage, but I don't have anything else lined up yet.
Some details of what happened to Brianna Winston unfold.
Together, the two men placed the suitcase inside of a burn barrel. They doused it with accelerant, lit a fire, and they kept that fire burning from the early afternoon until nightfall.
Two men, meaning Mikhail Edwards didn't act alone in Winston's murder, according to Clayton County Police. Police Lieutenant Ashanti Marbury said Edwards and Winston got into an argument here at their apartment on Gardenwood Drive in College Park. Clayton County Police say he choked her and needed help getting rid of her body. And to do it, he had the support of over 4 accomplices.
It turned into a family affair. He definitely looped everyone in to this crime.
The first being Brianna Phillips Edwards, who Marbury says Edwards married privately in January. Mikhail is accused of dumping Winston's body in a suitcase. He then tossed the suitcase in Philip Edwards' car to drive to Tennessee to get rid of Winston's remains. When police questioned her,
she provided several statements. They were false.
Now, Phillips Edwards faces at least 3 charges for assisting Edwards. However, Marbury says more family extended their help. Caught during Edwards' confession during a jail call, 2 of Edwards' family members face tampering with evidence charges for burning Winston's belongings. Marbury says the man who helped burn her body across state lines has immunity for cooperating with police. Edwards is facing 6 felony charges, including malice murder.
Why would a married man go to a dating site after he told you that he was happy with you? Now, number one, that man's a liar. Because if he's happy with you, he's not shopping around for merchandise, right? Usually at this point, whenever a man joins a dating website and blatantly disregards the entire marriage, he's already checked out from the marriage. And since he's already checked out from your hotel and he's trying to become a guest at somebody else's, you should probably initiate a fast checkout or divorce. Because at this point, you're basically married to a skeleton. That's pretty much what you got going on. No man in his right mind is going to start looking around and shopping unless he's ready to buy, right? It's just like buying a car. I mean, if you have a perfectly brand new car with nothing wrong with it, why would you go shopping for another one? Unless that's not the one you wanted. Unless you're not happy with the purchase that you already made. I mean, makes sense to me.
My partner on a dating app, they said they were looking to see if I was on there. Huge red flag.
My friend met a guy on Tinder and went on a few dates with him for about a month. One day, she decided after a date to finally invite him to her house for a drink. During these drinks, she started feeling some weird vibes from him, so when it was time to go to bed, she asked him if he would be okay with sleeping on the couch in the living room. He said yes. For some reason, she decided to lock her bedroom. She's always been a little bit paranoid. And then she went to sleep. In the middle of the night, she heard her door handle move. She woke up and asked him, "Are you okay?" thinking maybe he was looking for the bathroom, and he didn't answer. She got very spooked and called the police. The police arrived, and she warily opened the door and told them he was in the living room. A police officer went into the living room down the hall and came back. He got on his walkie-talkie immediately and told her not to go into the living room. Apparently, there was a bunch of knives in the living room floor and plastic over some of the furniture. Had she not locked the door, she would probably be dead. Always trust your gut
Holy
instincts.
fuck, that's one of the craziest stories we've had on this pod if it's real.
Mental.
This is the last photograph of 24-year-old Sydney Loof, who would be tortured to death just an hour after she posted it. So Sydney Loof was a woman who lived in Nebraska, and in 2017 she would go missing. The only clue that Sydney's friends and family had was that Sydney had talked about going on a date with a woman named Audrey that she had met off of Tinder. The two had already went on one date the night before Sydney went missing, and the night that she did go missing, this was the last known photograph she posted before her phone was turned off just 30 minutes later. Police were able to use Sydney's cell phone data, and they managed to trace the Tinder profile to Audrey back to a woman named Bailey Boswell and her 51-year-old boyfriend Aubrey Trail. The couple had actually been using Tinder to look for potential victims for them to unalive and fulfill a sexual fantasy. Bailey, under the guise of Audrey, lured Sydney back to her apartment where Audrey and her proceeded to torture her to death before dismembering her body into 14 pieces. They then wrapped all the pieces of Sydney's body into multiple trash bags and then scattered them in ditches all along the back roads of Nebraska. Sadly, Sydney's left arm, her heart, lungs, and even her tongue have never been found. The couple was quickly arrested and found guilty, and Aubrey is currently sitting on death row, and Bailey is currently serving life in prison.
A Texas man accused of kidnapping and torturing his Bumble date is now out on bond. The victim said she matched with 21-year-old Zachary Mills in December. On Christmas Eve, he drove them back to his apartment. He allegedly tried to have intercourse with her, and she said no. The victim said that he then punched her in the face and bit her on the face and neck. Zachary allegedly beat the victim with the handle of a screwdriver as well. The victim said she was held for 5 days and denied food and water. On December 29th, Zachary left, and the woman managed to escape. Documents said she had severe bruising to both eyes, as well as bite marks, cuts, and bruising all over her body. Zachary Mills was arrested the next day and charged with aggravated kidnapping. He posted a $50,000 bond a few days later, and his attorney says he doesn't believe the victim's story. Bumble has blocked Zachary from using their services. This is an active investigation, and he could face additional charges.
26-year-old Callum Wheeler Weaver is a serial killer from New Jersey who lured his victims using dating apps. Callum murdered 3 women and attempted to kill a 4th between August 2016 and November 2016. Little physical evidence tied Callum to the murders he committed, as he wore gloves and condoms during encounters with victims. A small amount of his DNA was found beneath the fingernails of one victim. His phone's geolocation data tracked his movements during and after the murders, both to the places where he arranged to meet victims and the locations where their bodies were later discovered. He also used his phone to search the phrase, "homemade poison to kill humans." Callum was caught after one of the victim's friends created a fake account and lured him to a meeting before notifying police. A jury found him guilty in 2019, and he was convicted of 3 counts of murder and desecration of human remains, attempted murder, 2 counts of aggravated sexual assault, aggravated arson and kidnapping, and was sentenced to 160 years in prison. He will be eligible for parole in 140 years. Throughout the trial, Callum maintained his innocence, claiming he was framed. In March 2022, Callum was also charged with the October 2016 murder of 15-year-old Mawadomia. Her remains were found in a house in Orange, New Jersey on May 9, 2019, but went unidentified for 2 years.
So I saw this post on Facebook, and it's a very sad story. The girl on the left is 16-year-old Lauren Juma, and the man on the right is 60-year-old Van Brisbane. In Humble, Texas, Lauren's mother, Lori Young, was in a relationship with Van for 5 years. They all lived together. Lori thought she had a family with Van. She didn't think that Van would hurt any of her kids, and that is why she was comfortable with allowing him to be a father figure to her kids. Lori had to go out of town, leaving her 16-year-old daughter Lauren at home with her boyfriend. Around 1 o'clock in the morning, Lauren woke up to Van standing over her and staring at her in the dark. It really scared her to the point that she screamed. He left the room, but she was concerned about his behavior. She called her sister, telling her that Van was acting really weird and she just wanted to leave. She asked her sister to come get her. After she got off the phone with her sister, Van wouldn't let Lauren leave. He held her captive. Van became very aggressive and raped her. Lauren called her mom on FaceTime crying, unable to get her words out, and said, "Help me." Then Van hung the phone up. The police were called to the house. When the police arrived, they heard 1 gunshot, then a scream and another gunshot. Van opened the door and said to the police, "Do what you gotta do," while he pulled up his pants. The police found Lauren with a gunshot wound to the head with her pants down. Van was charged with murder with a $2 million bond. Lori's mom said that she didn't understand how Van could do that to her daughter because he treated Lauren like she was his baby.
When Grace Millane took a trip to New Zealand, she decided to go on Tinder to meet new people. That's how she ended up on a date with Jesse Kempson, who after a night of drinks with Grace, murdered her and stuffed her body in a suitcase to dispose of it. CCTV had recorded the entire date night they had, as well as every single step he'd taken the day after when he bought a suitcase, got Grace's body out of the apartment building, and into a car he'd just rented. There was no doubt Jesse had something to do with Grace's disappearance, and when he was taken in for questioning, Jesse played the confused card with detectives. However, they were about to tell him exactly why he was there. This is the moment when Jesse discovered he had been recorded disposing of a body.
Let's talk updates in the recent case of 23-year-old Lauren Smith Fields. This past year, Lauren was pursuing a degree in physical therapy and had her own apartment in Bridgeport, Connecticut. It was the evening of December 12th when she had a date planned with a man in the area that she'd met on Bumble. That night, 37-year-old Matthew LaFountain spent hours at Lauren's apartment, drinking, playing games, and watching movies. Around 6:30 the next morning, he called police to report that Lauren was bleeding from her nose and completely unresponsive. While Lauren was pronounced dead at the scene, no one thought to inform her family. They actually showed up looking for her later on, just to find a note on her door that read, quote, "If you're looking for Lauren, call Detective Cronin." The family had to beg detectives to collect any evidence at the apartment, and on January 24th, Lauren's death was officially ruled an accident by acute intoxication due to the combined effects of fentanyl, promethazine, hydroxyzine, and alcohol. It should be known that Lauren had absolutely no history of prior alcohol or drug abuse. Thanks to pressure from the public, authorities have recently opened a criminal investigation into Lauren's death. Matthew, on the other hand, has reportedly been cooperative, and he told police that at one point during the night, Lauren went to go meet her brother. He said that she came back and spent about 15 minutes in the bathroom before she passed out, and he had to carry her to bed. I don't know if charges will ever be filed in connection to Lauren's death, but I do know her case still needs our attention. I'll be putting a link to her family's GoFundMe in my bio.
Forget about West Elm Caleb, let's talk about the Tinder swindler. This man, Simon Levi, conned an estimate of $10 million out of women he met on Tinder. The man attracted women on Tinder and claimed to be the son of Lev Levi, an Israeli diamond tycoon. His Instagram displayed a life of luxury with private planes, designer clothes, and worldwide travel. And when women met with him in person for dates, not only did he look like his picture, but he had the wealth that he was displaying on his social media. On dates, he would fly women around the world on his private jet, give them luxurious gifts. They were picked up by drivers in Rolls Royces. They genuinely believed that he was the son of a diamond tycoon. He would reveal intimate details about his life, and these women would end up falling in love with him. He would then tell these women that he got into some rough dealings with the diamond business and he needed their help. He would then ask them for thousands of dollars, and fully convinced that they know who this man is and that they loved him and they wanted to keep him safe, they sent it over. One woman was scammed out of over $200,000. In 2019, he was sentenced to 15 months in jail for fraud, theft, and forgery, but was released after 5 months for good behavior. And now he's back on Instagram and allegedly back on Tinder.
Oh my god. I really dodged a bullet with this one. Guys, I do not post shit like this, but this has to be shared with the internet. Okay, so I decided to take a chance and go on a Bumble date. I just wasn't vibing with him. Normally ghost people, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just be straightforward and honest. I'm gonna just work on that, being a forward person. That's the last time I ever do that shit. What's up, Smooth Soph? I don't want to waste your time, so I'm just gonna be honest and let you know that I don't really see us going anywhere. I will see you at Trumbledore though. I don't want it to be awkward. We both go to the same beach, whatever. The unsaved number in my contact had the audacity. I won't even recognize you. Just wanted to fuck you tonight, love. Ew, what is wrong with you? I was trying to be respectful. This is a disgusting message. I don't even know what to say. I've never received anything like this. Also, I never date icky guys, so I'm so surprised this happened. Wow, really dodged a bullet with this one, ladies. I really thought Israeli men were so nice. I've never had a bad experience with Israeli men, which I know is rare, but I really haven't. Okay, I've had one-ish. I've had a bad experience. This is awful. I'm even more shocked because my body language our entire date was me being very closed off. They kept saying, oh my god, you're so different from your profile. Because my profile is me being silly, goofy, loose, because that's how I am. I was uncomfortable. He was so touchy. I was like, so what? No part of him probably even remotely thought that he would even have the chance to fuck me tonight. Also, I told him I was Shomer Nagia, which is guys, if you follow me, you know I pulled the Shomer Nagia card. I literally told him I was Shomer Nagia because he wouldn't stop touching me. What makes him think that this was gonna even remotely happen? This is so rude, so disrespectful, and that's so awkward for him because now he has to see me, and my friends will know about this. He is now canceled. See you at the beach, buddy. What the fuck?
So, besides these billboards being one of many reasons that women should not be on these date sites, not just Bumble, there are men out here who are literally meeting women on these sites just to take them out of this world. And men are literally online telling you how they feel about you. I'm going to get into some more of these videos, and I'm going to let y'all listen to how the men feel about you and how they see you the light that they see you in, because women are not, I don't think y'all are getting it. I don't think a lot of women are getting the amount of danger that you are in, that we are in when we're playing these games and going on these date sites. But the men are letting you know the amount of danger that you are in. So I think a lot of women, y'all just really need to turn on your self-preservation switch and start arming yourselves. I'm always going to say arm yourselves, not necessarily with pow-pows or pew-pews. We have bear spray, we have mace, we have batons. Depending on what state you're in, you can have brass knuckles, you can have tasers, you can have so many things that's for personal self-defense. You can go on Amazon and just type that in, personal self-defense. I've done a list of things that you can have and that I also have that you can carry with you, especially if you live in cities where you know the crime rate is high, like in New York or maybe Florida. And I know New York, you can't have certain things, but y'all need to start paying attention. Stop walking in these cities where most people walk and not looking behind you. We just saw that man who put that belt around that lady's neck and dragged her off of the street and raped her. We saw that. Everybody's talking about it. He was caught. Thankfully, he was caught, but we saw that. And this could happen to you if you live in a big city. So let's get into these videos and listen to what these men have to say.
For the ladies present today, congratulations on an amazing accomplishment. You should be proud of all that you have achieved to this point in your young lives. I want to speak directly to you briefly because I think it is you, the women, who have had the most diabolical lies told to you. How many of you are sitting here now, about to cross this stage, and are thinking about all the promotions and titles you are going to get in your career? Some of you may go on to lead successful careers in the world, but I would venture to guess that the majority of you are most excited about your marriage and the children you will bring into this world. I can tell you that my beautiful wife, Isabel, would be the first to say that her life truly started when she began living her vocation as a wife and as a mother. I'm on this stage today and able to be the man I am because I have a wife who leans into her vocation. I'm beyond blessed with the many talents God has given me, but it cannot be overstated that all of my success is made possible because a girl I met in band class back in middle school would convert to the faith, become my wife, and embrace one of the most important titles of all, homemaker.
Who just really went in and told these women who have spent tens of thousands of dollars and countless hours getting their degrees that those degrees ain't shit and that they need to just wife up and push babies out. This man is a professional football player. He can afford to have his wife stay at home and not work. Going to a college class and telling them that really it was diabolical what was done to you. You've been bamboozled. You shouldn't have gotten this degree. Like, does the college not understand that if you're telling people they shouldn't enroll and they should just wife up, that they're gonna lose money? And the reason we are seeing birth rates decline is because most people can't afford to fucking live, let alone live on one income. Because most people aren't married to professional football players.
It's just shocking news to find out that your children mama got shot. Then you gotta be stuck with your kids and hoping that she lives.
Black women are not meant to be married and fully committed relationships. Black women were breeders in slavery days. And history repeats itself. That's all they are.
Ladies, how long y'all gonna fight this battle, man? I'm telling you, ladies, niggas tired, man. Ladies, I just want y'all to just give in, man, because I just see so many frustrated niggas out here. I don't want them to start punching y'all, man. A frustrated man will punch you. And I don't want that for y'all. Let's get back to, you know what I'm saying? Not even get back to, let's just enhance the in-house cooking. Ladies, y'all treat sometime. Call and check on your nigga. You get what I'm saying? Cause I don't want to see a world full of black eyes around here, man. Cause these niggas, it's frustrating. It's a recession. They tired of having to keep on kicking out money to get to know you. They tired. They tired of you saying you healing. And I just don't want to see y'all head get twisted around, man. Cause I'm really on y'all side, you know. So just, ladies, just throw in the towel and just You know what I mean? Cause I don't want to see y'all getting punched, man. I don't. Lord knows, nigga, 3-piece. I want y'all to win. You know what I mean? Not go to sleep. I'm on your side, man.
Some of y'all ladies gonna have to settle. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but listen, everybody can't have a perfect man out here. It ain't even enough of us around, like, let's be honest. So at the end of the day, we can go ahead and put that 50-50 conversation to rest, because every woman ain't gonna get 80-20, 100-0, whatever y'all thinking is gonna be 60-40. Some of y'all gonna have to go 50-50, and shit, y'all might gotta go 60-40 on your end with the man, just to be happy at the end of the day. Like, let's be realistic. Come on now. Somebody gonna have to settle, man. That's all.
Dinner. Can you at least like come back like one movie, like at my place?
I just kind of have to.
No,
go
like my
home.
roommates are out for the week.
I don't know. I just think it's kind of
Okay,
late.
ladies, when I tell y'all you got to do better with keeping your men sexually satisfied, I am not kidding. Me and my boyfriend went to Laughlin this weekend on a whim, and we were bewildered at the amount of straight guys on Grindr with blank profiles, engaging in conversation with us, sending us D-pics, pressing and willing to do something, sending us their room number. I mean, we didn't end up doing anything, but I'm telling you, ladies, if your man is horny enough, before he goes to another woman, he will fuck another man. And it's not a laughing matter, because I personally think it's just so unfair to all the women that are out there who truly believe they are in a healthy, sexually satisfying relationship with their man. These guys were saying shit like, oh, my girlfriend's downstairs with her friends, or my wife's downstairs with her sister at the casino. I have about a 20 or 30 minute window. I'm really trying not to generalize here, but I'm telling you, ladies, keep your eyes open, especially if you notice that he never leaves his phone alone whenever you're around.
You do not have to accept her rejection.
Yeah, you do.
I'm a professional dating coach.
No, you're not.
Now, here's an example. I was talking to a girl.
No, you weren't.
And she said, oh, I'm not really interested. And I, instead of just going, okay, and then just turning away, I did this. Why would you not be interested in me? I'm the best.
This is Alpha Dom, and according to somebody, he's the pinnacle of dating coaches for men. I would encourage you to go check out his website, but getting it to work was a struggle. And of course, the world didn't respond too well to this terrible advice.
I kind of want to show you the elite level of hate that I'm dealing with. Oh,
don't worry, it gets better.
People are telling me I should delete all my accounts. I have met more people over this weekend that are amazing, pleasant people, a lot of them female, saying, you know what, you are legit and you actually know what you're talking about. Oh, turn off your account.
Ladies, all men are cheaters, okay? But the problem here is that you're settling for the most basic man. He doesn't take you out on dates. He doesn't get you flowers. He doesn't take you on vacation. He has no ambition. He doesn't have money. He loves to settle for 50-50, and he causes you trauma all the time. Now, when you find out that he cheats, would you rather cry in his Corolla knowing that you put more effort in for him? Or would you rather cry over a man who's giving you the world and you're in his supercar? You tell me. So next time, make the right decision, make the right choice, and get cheated on happily.
Ladies, it is dumb to leave your man because he cheated. It's dumb. Now, if he's a cheater, yes, but because he cheated, what you gonna do? You gonna find you another man that don't struggle with infidelity? We all do. And if there's a man out there that's telling you he don't, he lying. But don't take my word for it. Tell me this. How many women you know that hasn't been cheated on? Don't worry. I'll wait.
He has to make you believe that all men cheat because he's a cheater and he believes he's entitled to a good woman. Men like him have a vested interest in women believing that there are no good men out there, because if you really believe that, you'll settle for one of them. These are the kind of men that jump on the internet every day and call a man a simp if he's loving his wife, loving his girlfriend, honoring her, doing all the things that he can't or won't do. They want to make you feel like that what you want is impossible, because that's how women settle. But what you want is possible. There are men out here buying women things, respecting women, being faithful, loving you, honoring you, loving your children like their very own. Everything that you want is out there. You just can't expect it from a man like him. The only reason some of you are even here is because your mother settled for your father. We don't have to do that. We can wait till we get what we want. They hate the fact that you're waiting. It's painfully obvious that some of these men don't even like women. So why are they so worried about you dying alone? Because it's not you they're worried about.
America, please believe me when I tell you this. 80% of men. If we don't love your mother, we don't really love you, motherfucker. We are trying to accept you. Nobody says that. I'm not saying this for every man. I'm saying for 80% of the men. Listen to me. If we don't love your mother, our love for you is hard. We love you out of obligation. What we do, we try to be moral and humane.
Ridiculous, because I don't see that coming from my situation, and we don't get along.
We got to stop acting like the men in the hood are the bad guys. You are here because your mother's health was in jeopardy if she did another one. Is your mama gonna tell you, boy, you made it out that Freddy Krueger boiler room of a womb of your mama? Go over there with your mama, and when you grow up, let's try to build a friendship.
I cannot believe what I'm about to show you.
Can I just remind you of something? I gave birth 2 days ago.
Yeah, 2 days ago, and you came out of the hospital straight away. You've been sitting around all this time, so you can make a roast.
To send me home to get rest at home.
Yeah, but you've been doing nothing but resting. Look at all these cups of tea for a start. I mean, look, I'm just saying.
I'm sorry that I need caffeine to keep going with a newborn baby.
Yeah, and it's not easy for me either. Right, I didn't give birth. No, but I'm not sleeping like you, so I'm knackered. You're awake. So, my mum and dad are coming, and you know what they're like. They always want a roast, so...
They always want a roast, but I've not just given birth 2 days before. You can get up and make it yourself.
Look, you do it much better than I do. We know that. I've tried. It's a waste of time.
Why are you gaslighting me?
I'm not gaslighting you. You always say I'm gaslighting you. I'm not.
You're trying to manipulate me into making a roast
Right.
for your mum and dad because you can't be asked, well, do you know what? I've just cooked for the last 9 months. Your kid.
Yeah. I'll sit with them, with the baby, talk to them. You got like a couple of hours to
Oh,
yourself.
you sit on your
Sure.
ass with the baby while I'm stood slaving over a hot stove. It doesn't work like that.
Sit on my ass with the baby, so you're saying it's easy then? Yeah, so if that's the case, then you can go in the kitchen then, can't you? What's the problem?
2 days. He must not have been in that operating room. If he would have seen what I've seen from my 3 children, he would understand. 2 days. And he wants her back in the kitchen.
So yeah, ladies, there you have it. Those are just some of the reasons why women are becoming celibate and should stay off of these dating apps and should probably just stop dating altogether. But I'm going to let the brethren speak to their brothers, and this is what I think that men should do. Instead of going on Bumble or Tinder, this is what I think they should do.
And this is time for you. The love of your life is in Grindr. I know you haven't had any luck yet, but 2024, like that's when you're gonna find him. He's definitely using the app too. So just keep trying. I'm manifesting it for you. Like I promise you,
I'm going to say this one more time, ladies. I absolutely believe that they are trying to get rid of Tinder, or not Tinder, but TikTok, because of stuff like this, because they see women are coming together and saying, no, we're not doing it. We're done. We're not messing with men. We're becoming celibate. We don't want to have anything to do with men. We don't want to birth your children. We don't want to marry you. Just go away. And this is not just in the United States. People are looking at TikTok worldwide. And across the globe, governments are panicking because women are coming together and saying, no, we are done. Because being online, you can see that you're not crazy. We can actually see that this is how a lot of these males are acting. That they're not it's not a game. We're in literal danger. So, although I'm going to miss TikTok, I know that enough women are awake now that we can find ways to still talk to each other and communicate. They can shut down every platform at this moment in time, but enough of us know the truth now that it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. They didn't even have to stop they didn't have to stop abortions because a lot of women are not even dealing with them, but there are going to be cases where women do need them for life-saving procedures. There are going to be cases because a lot of these men are just unhinged that men are going to just take it and the women are going to end up getting pregnant and they're going to want one, but it's going to be really hard for them to get one. So women, as always, I always tell you to arm yourself, take self-defense classes, and just do whatever you have to do to get ready for what I consider to be really the fall of man. Y'all, and that's pretty much all I have to say. Once again, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. If you want to see more videos like this getting put out, please hit that like button. It helps us get into the algorithm. All of these are things that you can do for free to support the content creators that you love. You don't necessarily have to give us money, but anybody who does choose to give these content creators money, bless your heart, because you didn't have to, especially if they weren't asking you to. Bless you, because it's hard right now. So the ones that are begging for money, I just assume that they really need it. So I'm not gonna down them because they found the hustle or they found the extra stream of income. I think all of us should find extra streams of income and help each other out. But until next time, you guys, I will talk to you later. You ladies, I will talk to you later. Bye.